Okay, so in the last video we were discussing about the construction of induction machine. So induction machine mainly consists of two parts, stator and rotor. In rotor we have two types. So one is squirrel cage rotor, another one is slip ring rotor. So squirrel cage rotor, why it is called squirrel cage? Because the windings are made up with the copper bars. So and all the bars are shorted at the end. So since the bars are shorted at the end, the appearance, external appearance look like a squirrel cage. Hence it is called squirrel cage induction motor. And in case of slip ring induction motor, we have rings at the end and we can connect an external resistance to that. So why we need to connect the external resistance, that we'll see at the end. Okay. Because it is mainly important for speed control. Okay, so that we'll see later. So this is about the construction of induction machine. Now we'll move on to the next topic, that is the working of induction motor. Working of induction motor. So as we know, induction motor consists of two parts. We are studying three-phase induction motor. Let me write the stator. Assume this is a stator. Stator is connected with a three-phase supply. Three-phase supply. Three-phase 415 volts, 50 hertz AC supply. Okay. In three-phase circuit, we have three lines, RYB, three lines, and each line, line voltage are separated by an angle of 120 degree. So here also we have connected the stator windings. So this is a stator winding, remember, stator windings. In the construction we have studied this, stator windings. See here. So this is stator, right? Here we have windings and here we have three windings. Three windings which are connected like this, and each winding is separated by an angle of 120 degree. That is what I have written here. The same winding, this is the cut section, but actual winding will be like this. This you have seen in the laboratory. Yes. So here we have the stator windings. Inside this we have the rotor. Let the motor be squirrel cage rotor. Let the rotor be squirrel cage rotor. This is a squirrel cage rotor. Here we are applying the voltage line 1, line 2, line 3, RYB. Okay. When you have the voltage like this, three-phase voltage, R, Y will be exactly 120 degree apart. Y, B will be 120 degree apart from the Y. B, R, Y, B. Okay. We are going to apply the voltage like this, R, Y, B. When we apply this voltage, we have the R phase. This will be excited. R phase will be excited and current starts flowing through that phase. So this is going to get magnetized. As we know, this is a type of field winding. So it will get magnetized to the polarity N, S. N and S. Okay. After 120 degree, your Y phase will be excited. This is R phase. Then after 120 degree, Y phase will be excited. So here we have North Pole. Here we have South Pole when this is excited. Later, B phase will be excited after 120 degree, north, south. So remember, this we are studying for only for half a cycle. Only for half a cycle. Okay. When it changes its direction. So here we have positive cycle. When your R phase becomes negative phase, negative voltage, this N become S and this S become N. This S become N. This N become S. So this will become N, this will become S. For the next half cycle, again it will interchange. For the next half cycle, again it will interchange. We know that frequency is 50 Hz. Supply frequency is 50 Hz. 50 hertz means 50 cycles per second, means 100 positive cycles, 50 positive cycles, 50 negative cycles. Totally it is 100 cycles. 100 times it is going to change its polarity. North to south, south to north, north to south, south to north. Like this, see here, in 1 second, it is going to change 100 times. North, south, north, south, north, south, again north, south, north, south. Means here, what is this? This is actually the magnetic field. We are talking about magnetic field, right? So here we have north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole. So it is going to interchange. Means when it is happening 100 times per second, it will look like the magnetic field is rotating. Which is rotating? Stator is not rotating. Stator magnetic field is rotating. Where it will rotate? In the air gap. So what is this air gap? Here we have stator windings. We have stator windings like this. So it will be like this. And here we have rotor. There is a small gap between stator and rotor. So this small gap is air gap. In the air gap, when the flux changes from north to south or south to north, it appears to be rotating. See, north, south, north, south, north, south. Like this, it appears to be rotating in air gap. So, which is rotating? Magnetic field. Stator magnetic field is rotating. So, when we supply the AC voltage to the three-phase stator, it is going to create a rotating magnetic field. The stator windings is going to create a rotating magnetic field, and that magnetic field rotates in air gap with certain speed. So, stator magnetic field rotates with certain speed in air gap. With certain speed. What is this certain speed? This certain speed is called synchronous speed. The speed of the rotating magnetic field in the stator, we call it as synchronous speed. Now onwards, what do you mean by synchronous speed? Synchronous speed is the speed of the rotating magnetic field produced by the stator. So that is called synchronous speed, and this will be represented by NS. NS is the synchronous speed. NS is the synchronous speed, and it is given by the equation 120 F by P. So why it is 120 F by P? There is a derivation for this. Anyway, the derivation is not there in the syllabus. I am going to tell you directly. This 120 is the angle between each winding, stator winding. F is the frequency of the supply. P is the number of poles. Obviously, the stator windings are wounded on the poles. So P is the number of poles. NS is given by 120 F by P. So now here stator magnetic field is rotating. We have a rotor inside this one, and we know that the rotor is, since it is a squirrel cage rotor is made up of the conductor bars, and all the conductor bars are shorted at the end. This rotor we are going to place inside this one. Magnetic field is rotating. Stator is stationary. Right now both stator and rotor is stationary. We have placed this rotor inside the rotating magnetic field. So magnetic field is rotating with the speed Ns is equal to 120 F by P. Now what happens? This conductors, copper bars are there inside this now. This conductors is going to cut the magnetic lines of force. Because magnetic lines of force is rotating. Conductors are stationary. So when it links with this conductors, it is going to produce the EMF. When this conductors when the rotating magnetic field links with the conductors of the rotor, it is going to produce an EMF according to Faraday's first law. What Faraday's first law says? When a conductor links with a changing magnetic field, an EMF will be induced. So EMF will be induced, and this EMF is rotor EMF. So the frequency of this rotor EMF generated is also AC. So the frequency of this rotor EMF is given by F dash. So what is this F dash? We'll discuss later. The frequency is given by F dash. How many times this frequency will be, that also we'll see later. Okay. So rotor is going to produce the EMF. When this rotor produces an EMF, see, the windings of the rotors are shorted at the end. Means it is a short circuit. EMF is produced, but this is a short circuit. Like we have many conductors like this, and all the conductors are shorted at the end. Here we are going to apply the EMF. What happens? Obviously the current flows through this one because the ends are shorted. When the ends are shorted, current flows. It is just like a short circuit. Current starts flowing through the rotor. Now rotor is carrying current. When a current carrying conductor placed inside a magnetic field, this is the working principle of DC motor. When a current carrying conductor placed inside a magnetic field, it experiences a twisted force or it experiences a torque. So because of that torque, your rotor starts rotating. This is how your induction motor starts. So this is the working of induction motor. So I'll brief it again. Anyway, we know the concept of rotating magnetic field. How it is going to rotate, that we know. It will rotate with a certain speed called ns is equal to 120 f by p. 120 is the angle between each phase, f is the frequency, p is the number of poles. So here we have squirrel cage rotor and ends of the rotors are shorted. This rotor is made up of copper bars. We are going to place this inside this one. When this conductor links with a changing magnetic field, it produces an EMF according to Faraday's first law with the frequency F dash. Since the ends are shorted, so it is just like a short circuit. So short circuit we have, and it is going to generate an EMF. We have voltage, we have short circuit. Obviously current flows through the circuit. When current flows through the circuit, so now your rotor is a current carrying conductor. When this current carrying conductor placed inside a magnetic field, it experiences twisted force or torque. Because of that torque, your rotor starts rotating. So now your stator magnetic field is also rotating and your rotor also rotating. But stator magnetic field rotate with the speed ns, rotor rotate with the speed n. And always there is a difference between these two speeds. Always there is a difference between these two speeds. These two speeds should not be same, and it will not same. It should not be same. What happens if these two are same? See here, when rotor generates an EMF, how the rotor generates an EMF? When it links with the rotating magnetic field, it generates an EMF. Because of that current flows and it rotates. And this rotor tries to achieve the same speed of the stator magnetic field. What is the speed of stator magnetic field? ns, that is synchronous speed. Your rotor also tries to pick up the same speed, synchronous speed. What happens if it reaches the same speed? If n is equal to ns, see here the rotor is rotating like this. Your rotor is rotating like this. So here stator magnetic field is rotating around the rotor. Now what happens if these two rotates with the same speed? See, if these two rotate with the same speed, here we have conductor. Let us assume this is the conductor itself. This is the magnetic field. When these two rotates with the same speed, there is no link with the conductor and magnetic field. Your conductor is not going to cut the magnetic lines of force. So here, this is the direction of rotating magnetic field. This is the direction of rotor. If these two rotates with the same speed, where is the conductor linking with the magnetic field? The mutual induction between these two is 0. When the conductor doesn't link with the magnetic field, EMF will not be produced. When EMF will not be produced, obviously the torque generated by this rotor decreases, lags down. When torque decreases, what happens to the speed? Speed also decreases. So because of that, again, means this is rotating with a certain speed n, and this is rotating with a speed ns. this n tries to reaches the same value of ns. When it tries to reaches the same value of ns, the mutual speed, I mean the relative speed, we call it as a relative speed. Relative speed between these two is 0. When your rotor and stator magnetic field rotates with the same speed, there is no mutual induction. So rotor doesn't able to cut the magnetic lines of force. When it cannot cut the magnetic lines of force, the rotor EMF obviously decreases. When the rotor EMF decreases, what happens? Obviously the speed of the machine decreases. Speed of the rotor decreases. Again n lags behind ns. This is what happening inside the induction machine. So always ns, there is a difference between speed of ns and n, and we can say ns is always greater than n. So that difference in this two, the speed difference between these two is given by s, where s is the slip speed. The difference in the speed between stator magnetic field and the speed of the rotor is slip speed. So what is the unit of slip speed? Again it is RPM, because the speed of stator magnetic field is ns, that is in terms of RPM, n is in terms of RPM. So difference between these two is slip speed, the unit is RPM. Now we need to calculate percentage slip. What is this percentage slip? How much percentage the rotor speed lags behind the stator magnetic field speed. So that can be calculated as ns minus n divided by ns into 100. So this is an important formula. Already you have calculated in the lab percentage slip for different loads. So this is an important formula. Okay, so this is about the construction and working of induction machine. Please follow this. If you have any doubt, you can WhatsApp me or you can call me. Now we'll solve certain problems based on this. But before moving on to the problems, yes, here I told you the EMF generated in the rotor is F dash. So how to calculate this F dash? This F dash is S times of F. F is the frequency of the rotor magnetic field. Sorry, stator magnetic field. F is the frequency of the stator magnetic field, or it is a frequency of the supply, because frequency of the stator magnetic field is same as the frequency, supply frequency. So S times of F means it is slip times of F. So S into F gives you the rotor frequency, rotor EMF frequency. So with this we'll solve the problem. Here is your first problem. Let us read out the problem. A 3-phase 50 Hz 6-pole induction motor has full load percentage slip of 3%. Find synchronous speed and actual speed of the motor. So synchronous speed means ns. We need to calculate ns. Actual speed means n. Actual speed is nothing but rotor speed. Okay. So first we'll write the given details. What they have given? 3-phase. Frequency they have given. F is equal to 50 Hertz. Pole. Number of poles they have given. 6 pole. Induction motor has a full load percentage slip. Percentage slip they have given, that is 3%. So what is the value of S? Divided by 100. When you divide it by 100, it will be 0.03. Then we need to calculate the synchronous speed. What is the formula for synchronous speed? We have ns is equal to 120 F by P. 120 into 50 divided by number of poles 6. Let us calculate this. 120 into 50 divided by 6. How much? ns is 1000 RPM. Next, what we need to calculate? Actual speed. So we know that percentage slip is given by ns minus n divided by ns into 100. You have to use this formula. So percentage slip divided by 100 will give you the value of S. 0.03 is equal to ns is 1000 minus n is the unknown, divide by 1000. So n is the unknown, calculate. 0.03 into 0.03 into 1000. So if this n comes this side, minus 30. 1000 minus 30, obviously it is n is equal to 970 rpm. So this is the actual speed of the motor, that is the speed of the rotor. This is how you can calculate. Here is the next problem. A three-phase induction motor with 4 pole is supplied from an alternator having 6 poles and running at 1000 rpm. Calculate synchronous speed, speed of the motor when slip is 0.04%, frequency of the rotor EMF when speed is 600 rpm. First we will note down the data given. They have given number of poles 4. Actually here there is a twist in the problem. 3-phase induction motor with 4 pole is supplied from an alternator. Means here we have an induction motor and this induction motor is supplied from the alternator. So this is your alternator. This is your induction motor. Alternator has how many poles? 6 poles. Alternator has 4 poles. Induction motor, a 3-phase induction motor with 4 poles. Induction motor has 4 poles. Supplied from an alternator having 6 poles. Your alternator has 6 poles and running at 1000 rpm. Alternator is running at 1000 rpm. So you need to calculate the synchronous speed of induction motor. So synchronous speed of induction motor is not same as this one. It is different. That we need to calculate. How to calculate this? See, when these two are coupled together, the formula is same. Synchronous speed formula is same. 120 F by P. So here we know the number of poles. We know the speed of the alternator. The speed of the alternator is 1000 rpm. Means ns is 1000 rpm. 6 poles. With this we'll calculate the frequency. This using that frequency will calculate the ns of induction motor. So don't get confused. I'll write this as ns of an alternator. So this as ns of induction motor. So ns of alternator is 1000 rpm is equal to 120 into F is the unknown, divide by P. Number of poles of an alternator is 6. So calculate the frequency. 1000 into 6 divided by 120. How much it is? 50 hertz. So using this, you need to calculate ns of induction motor. ns of induction motor is given by 120 F by P. So what is this ns? Synchronous speed of the stator magnetic field. 120 into 50 divided by 4. How much you are getting? 1500 rpm. So this is the synchronous speed of induction motor. First question. We have done with the first question. Then what we need to calculate? Speed of the motor. This is nothing but speed of rotor. Speed of the rotor when slip is 0.04%. We already have the synchronous speed. Using this synchronous speed, we need to calculate the speed of the rotor. So what next? We have slip is equal to 0.04%. We know the formula. Percentage slip is given by ns minus n divided by ns into 100. So percentage slip divided by 100 will give you the value of s. 0.04 is equal to ns is 1500 minus n divided by 1500. So calculate the value of n. 0.04 into 1500. 60. Means 1500 minus 60. So what is the value of rotor speed? 1440 RPM. So the motor runs with the speed of 1400 RPM. So this is the answer for second question. One more question we have, that is frequency of the rotor EMF when speed is 600 RPM. Means they have given the value of N. Third question. So this is second question. They have given the value of N is 600 RPM. If this is 600 RPM, what is F dash? Frequency of the rotor EMF is nothing but F dash. Just now we have discussed. So we need to calculate F dash. We know that F dash is given by S times of F. But this S is different. This S is for a speed of 1440 RPM. Now we have S for 6. We need to calculate S for 600 RPM. So calculate it. So S is equal to Ns minus N divided by Ns. So Ns is same. 1500 minus 600. They have given the value of N. Divide by 1500. So this is 600. So how much you will get? 1500 minus 600 divide by 1500. 0.6. S value is 0.6. F dash is given by S times of F. 6 into 0.6 into supply frequency is 50 Hertz. That we have calculated. 50. 0.6 into 50. You will get it as 30 Hertz. The frequency of the rotor EMF is 30 Hertz. Such a simple problem. So if you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, next problem. A 10-pole 3-phase induction motor supplied by 6-pole alternator. So same similar type of problem what we have solved last time. Induction motor has 10 poles. So here I'll write the induction motor. So here is our alternator. Induction motor has 10 poles supplied by 6-pole alternator. Alternator has, this is alternator, this is induction motor. Alternator has 6 poles driven at 1200 RPM. So speed of the alternator is 1200 RPM. If the motor runs at a slip of 3%, motor is running with a slip of 3%, what is the speed of the induction motor? We need to calculate the value of N in this induction motor. Obviously, to calculate the value of N, we need Ns of induction motor. We know Ns of alternator. Using this, we need to calculate Ns of induction motor. Then we need to calculate N. Okay. So, we know Ns is equal to 1200 RPM. We know the formula Ns is equal to 120 F by P. So, substitute and find out the value of frequency. Same as previous problem. So, F is equal to Ns into P divided by 120. That is 1200 into 6 divided by 120. How much you will get? 1200 into 6 divided by 120. I think 60 Hertz. We got the value of frequency. So find out the synchronous speed of induction motor. Ns is equal to 120 F by P. So 120 into 60 divided by 10. 10 because number of poles is 10. 60 into 120 divided by 10. How much? 720 RPM. This is the synchronous speed of the stator magnetic field. Then we'll calculate N, value of N. To calculate value of N, we know that percentage slip is given by Ns minus N divided by Ns into 100. So percentage slip divided by 100, percentage slip is 3%. So we'll get it as 0.03 is equal to ns is 720 minus n divided by 720. 720 into 0.03. How much we are getting? 21.6. So 720 minus 21.6, we are getting 698.4, but it is 699 RPM, because we are always RPM. We need to take it in terms of numerical value, not a decimal. So this is the value of speed. This is how you can calculate the speed if the problem is given in this method. Okay, we'll solve one more problem. A three-phase induction motor has 12 poles and it is fed from a three-phase supply of 50 Hz. If the frequency of the rotor EMF at full load is 2 Hz, find synchronous speed, slip, speed of the motor. So these three things we need to calculate. First, note down the given things. They have given number of poles, that is 12, frequency 50 Hz, rotor induced EMF at full load, that is F dash. They have given F dash 2 Hz. You need to find out synchronous speed. For synchronous speed we have direct formula, ns is equal to 120 F by P. 120 into 50 by 12. So how much you will get? 10, 15, that is 500 RPM. We got the value of ns. Then we need to calculate percentage slip. So percentage slip, we don't know the value of speed of the motor. So without that we cannot calculate the value of slip. But we have both rotor EMF frequency and the supply frequency. We know that rotor EMF frequency is given by S times of slip times of supply frequency. With this we can calculate the slip. Slip is given by F dash by F. F dash is 2 Hz divided by 50. 2 divided by 50. How much it is? 0.04. So percentage slip is given by 4%. I mean multiply by 100, you will get 4%. Then the last question, speed of the motor. Anyway, we have percentage slip. Percentage slip is given by ns minus n divided by ns. We need the value of n. Substitute for this. 0.04 is equal to 500 minus n divided by 500 to 500 minus answer. How much? 480. N is 480 RPM. So these are all very simple problems. Just you need to analyze the question. If you analyze the question properly, very easy to